Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of FMLPK. Uh, just a quick reminder for everyone that the deadline has now officially been changed because the Villa versus Newcastle fixture has been postponed because of a number of Newcastle players testing positive for COVID. So the new deadline is 5th December, Saturday, 4 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. And a quick note on that fixture that's been delayed. The news so far that we have is that both Aston Villa and Newcastle have a free midweek slot available. So if things don't drastically get out of hand for them, their fixture could be rescheduled for either 8th or 9th of December, in which case it would be counted as a part of Game Week 11. But we just don't know because the situation is pretty fluid. So just something to keep an eye on before you make any drastic moves. And also one match day of the Champions League has already happened and another one is due tonight. And so is the Europa League. So definitely something to keep an eye out before you make any changes. And with that said, let's get straight into it. I want to first bring up Salman's team, which we've just pulled up here. Tell us how you did.
Two short stories. One is I brought in Cancelo of Manchester City. They were playing Burnley at home. Cancelo had played full 90 minutes for the last 5 games. So in my mind, obviously I'm not Pep Guardiola, but in my mind he was a sure starter, and Burnley have scored 4 goals, so that was a clean sheet in my mind. But Pep obviously is Pep, and Pep we all know is a PP.
Pep roulette, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that happened, and
So
how about
that happened, and then I had Watkins. He was an easy
unlucky.
game.
Unlucky.
Missed a penalty, and then by an elbow he was offside. So Watkins
that was just a
ridiculous
call in my opinion. But
VAR is shit. Yeah. I hate
VAR. It's shit. You're absolutely right. I mean, some of these decisions that I've seen, I just don't
especially
know.
The offside ones, and one penalty, the one where I don't know, but where there was a smack on the bottom part of somebody's foot. Just can't remember, but that was given a penalty, which didn't make sense to me at all. So in any case, it was an unlucky week in terms of
that decision go towards United. Did they get the penalty?
No, I didn't see that match.
Okay.
I didn't see that match. We'll get to the United part. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. But in any case, in terms of planning, I thought my planning was good. I had Cancelo, I had Grealish. I brought in Vardy. I got rid of Kane and brought in Vardy, which for me was a difficult move because I lost 2.2 on Kane, but Vardy got an assist. And again, I was expecting more from Vardy. It was against Fulham at home, so I was expecting a double-digit haul.
But we sort of touched upon this, that Vardy's performance at home is nothing compared to his performance on the road. And that's just because teams are not going to go at them when they visit the King Power Stadium. They're going to sit back, and he's just a player who exploits the back line when they're sort of playing high up the pitch with his pace. He's just that type of player, and the numbers support it. So maybe next week.
Vardy was my captain.
So he got an assist. Game Week 11, perhaps.
He will most probably be my captain for Game Week 11.
Sheffield United away. Anyway, we'll talk about more about that later. So I'm seeing you got 7 blanks in your team, and it is what it is.
It was.
I don't know what
it was a bad week. Grealish saved me. Grealish got a 10-pointer, so he saved me. Otherwise, it would have been a really bad week.
Just
I've
the
got
one?
one, but the problem is I've got four non-starters, at least as of right
Okay.
now, till the time that they announce the Villa versus Newcastle. I've got three Villa players and a Newcastle player. I'm
Okay.
getting rid of Newcastle Maximin.
Okay.
And the two choices that I've thought of is Torres of City, because they've got a really easy match coming up, and Torres
Yep.
has been starting ahead of Foden. And the other is James Ward-Prowse, who's also got a easy match, and he's captain of Southampton. So one of these two
Okay.
will come in instead of Maximin.
Okay. I see.
Not Jota.
So, and
Yeah, Jota, I'm just going to wait another couple of game weeks till he's a show starter. There was some tension when Salah was taken off. Salah was really angry when he was taken off, and Mane came in. I think Jota deserves a show start, just the way he's playing.
and the fixtures that they have.
Yeah, the fixes that they have, but I've never been the one to have two players of the same team in the same department. So no two defenders of the same team, no two midfielders of the same team. I normally don't do that. So I already have Salah, and that's why Jota is. It'll probably be JWP or Torres.
Okay. So, I think Torres is the better option in my opinion, given the fixture list.
Yeah.
And also he has started the last 4 games, so something to consider.
I'm just scared of Pep.
But a Pep roulette here, you never know. I mean, the only assured starter on that team is Kevin De
KDB.
Bruyne. That's it.
Yeah, KDB, and I don't have money for KDB.
All right. So let's bring up your team, Murtaza, and see how you did. Tell us what you did, how things worked out.
Murtaza is rocking.
Callum Wilson to the rescue, getting me more points than KDB. I was shit scared not having KDB, man. And we all predicted the 5-0 score. It's been like
That's their normal hunting ground. The last, I think, 3 or 4 games they're at home against Burnley.
Yeah,
they've scored 5 each.
they've blown Burnley away in the last 6 games now.
And
if you count game week 10.
Burnley's been pretty good defensively.
That's the thing, that Man City are not this season at least are not blowing people away, and Burnley are not the sort of team that get turned over by even a big team. But when those two play, it just seems to happen that Burnley gets beat really badly.
Yeah,
but maybe this is the turning point for Man City where they start scoring more goals. So KDB would be a
maybe. So I see you had Bruno Fernandes. That was a good choice to captain him, obviously.
Yeah, it was on Salah for a while, but then I said no, Bruno away, you have to get him.
Yeah.
And
Liverpool have sort of been not passing the eye test lately. I feel like Salah looked kind of off. They've got all these injuries. Klopp is clearly agitated. Something is just amiss with Liverpool right now. I mean, they're just really that good of a team that they obviously can just turn it around on a dime.
True.
But
but they're not doing that right now. You're right.
Yeah, they lost that Champions League match against Atalanta last week. They were poor. They were poor here, and
even last night he didn't look that sharp, Salah, in the Champions League.
Jones scored a goal.
Ajax. He looks like someone who's missed 10 or 12 days of training. So
for sure.
Yeah, sure. But maybe going forward now, you don't know. Anyways, so what are your plans, Murtaza?
I really wanted to get KDB in, but that means chopping Son and Kane out of my team. And with this...
Why not Salah? Why doesn't it mean to get Salah out of your team?
No, I want Salah, man. I ain't doing without Salah. I want Salah and Bruno for the entire season. I mean, it's a headache-free captaincy flip here and there. Big home for Salah, for Bruno.
That's true.
But now with this Villa and Newcastle blank. I'm missing 3 players, which means my entire bench has to be activated, and that's not looking pretty. And on top of that, with this Kane suspect injury, Mourinho has put in, I don't know, maybe a Vardy transfer for Kane, but there's no way KDB comes in.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is Mourinho mind games, and Kane will be fine before the match. He'll be on the team sheet. But it's a derby. They're playing against Arsenal. We all know Mourinho mind tricks. So this might just be one of that.
Well, Mourinho did say today that he will most likely be fit for Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He missed training today. Harry Kane missed training today, but again, Mo did say that he will most likely be fit for Arsenal. And I'm pretty sure that he would want to play Kane, even if he was like a
80% fit.
Or 80% fit. Yeah.
So I might just back the change.
The thing is, you might back the change, but Jamie Vardy against Sheffield United away does look very interesting. Especially, like we mentioned before, how Vardy does on the road, and then Sheffield United, I believe, are the only team in the league right now who have not kept a clean sheet. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But on the flip side, their next 2 games are at home to Brighton and Everton. Everton does look like the sort of fixture that Vardy could break this home game voodoo nonsense and score there. I mean, it's very interesting. Vardy is definitely on my radar right now.
My top priority is KDB.
All right. Your top priority is KDB. Okay, so have either of you considered pulling the trigger on your wild card? Let's start with you, Salman. Have you?
Yes. I was very close to pressing the wildcard button on Sunday night. If you guys remember, I was going crazy on the WhatsApp group. This is when Watkins missed the penalty, and then he got offsided by the tip of his elbow. And I decided that this is wildcard time. So not this week, but probably next week or the week after. I'm not going to wait anymore. The problem is I'm losing a lot of position by resisting the wild card. I think I can start regaining the deficit between me and the top guy, who's a very good friend, Mr. Fahad Saleem. Shout out to him for being number 1 since the start of the season.
Don't mention him.
So Fahad Saleem and Pinky, as we call it, his great advisor. So I'm continuously losing, increasing that gap. So wildcard has to come in within the next 2-3 weeks for sure. This week, I don't know, but very, very close to pressing it.
What about you, Murtaza?
Yeah, I shouldn't have to play it, considering where I'm sitting. I'm happy with the rank.
You're 4th right now in our private league, right?
Yeah, and my overall
4th and overall
127k. So I'm happy. I'm hitting 60 plus average. I was tempted to just slice up the team for KDB, but I think what has worked so far for this season for me is being patient. So I want to give Kane and Son another run. Assured that KDB, I don't want to deal with that rotation, man. It's been so nice not having a rotation headache, and look at Sterling owners, man. I'd be killing myself.
11 plus in terms of value and not starting. In your place, I would probably pull the trigger right at the end, December end, so that you've got January, February. With a fresh start, with a fresh team.
We've got 4 game weeks to go, I think, in our hand before it expires. And we should hear about the double game week schedule by then. So I think we're going to try and line up for the second half. Plus, like I sent you the schedule, next 3 weeks, they play about 7 games. Each team plays about 7 games. So it's going to be really crazy with this COVID. Who plays, who doesn't. Maybe we hit it earlier.
Yeah. All right. So I guess before we move on to the captains, I'm going to bring up my team. Just want to mention that I did terribly, like absolutely terrible. Let's see here. I think I got like 44 points, dropped in rank majorly. As you can see, like I've got what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blanks out of 11. You know, and obviously the bench, not that it mattered, doing anything. But I feel like I should have gotten something from at least one Everton player. And maybe Bamford. I really feel like I was unlucky with Bamford. I captained him. And I mean, it was just ridiculous how he was not on the score sheet. I mean, even if you look
Bamford?
at it,
Over KDB.
over KDB. And I mean, but you still look at the numbers. I mean, they're just crazy. I mean, if I was to wildcard today, for example, I would still have Bamford, De Bruyne, Chilwell, Grealish, McCarthy in my team.
Yeah, that's the problem I'm having as well. I mean, I've got Vardy, DCL, Salah, Son, Grealish.
Yeah, and maybe I would change one or two of my heavy hitters, but then I would change the rest of my team as well. So that's really a question of like I'm not too keen on using my wildcard this week. I mean, I've already made the change for this game week. But let's just pull up that team real quick because I mean we've done that, and the change I've made is I have dropped Rodriguez, as you can see there, for Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. This is the guy you brought in, right? This is the guy you brought in. Say you brought in Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, I got in Bruno Fernandes. But you know, a lot has changed since then. Well, not a lot. Like if you look at the stats, like they've done well offensively last 3-4 matches, like really well actually. Obviously, he's getting the fantasy points, and it's just I don't know, man. I got him in. And with this whole Cavani situation, it had to be done.
It's fantasy gods.
Yeah.
Oh, did he get banned? Did Cavani get banned? Apparently, he was up for a.
Yeah, there was some offensive tweet or Instagram or whatever these guys do that's going to be reviewed. I don't know. But it's just not the Cavani situation, actually. It's that new role that he has in the deeper in midfield. Well, not deeper, but it's just the way they're set up in the midfield now. If you compare his heat map before to the last 2 game weeks, he's showing up in the box a lot more. Like he's just really at the heart of everything that United do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going forward.
He's the engine to the team.
Yeah. Before 2 weeks before, when we had this conversation, it was more about the penalties, but now it seems like finally that same dimension that was there last season in his game when he got transferred in Jan, that's back. And you know, the thing is, like Rodriguez was just not doing it for me. He's dropped in value. Yeah. And Everton are looking suspect, even with Richarlison back, you know, defensively with Dine out.
Dine's gone, man. They shit without him. Yeah.
And I mean, I had to get him or Salah. I would have liked to drop Grealish because of that whole fixture cancellation, but I didn't have
Grealish you would keep.
Dropping Rodriguez would give me exactly 10.9 million pounds left. So I made the change today before we started recording because I didn't want to lose that 0.1 million in value and with Rodriguez or like Fernandes possibly picking up another point in value.
Plus it gives you a legit cap option.
Yeah. So let's talk about captain picks. On paper, if you look at the stats, let's say from 6 weeks, the choice would be De Bruyne. But if you shorten that gap to, let's say, 4 weeks or 2 weeks, Fulham have actually improved defensively significantly over the last 2-3 game weeks.
Yeah.
And West Ham have actually gotten considerably worse in that same time period. So right now I'm leaning towards De Bruyne, but I feel like De Bruyne is going to be overwhelmingly picked for captain by most people. And Fernandes would be a good second choice, in my opinion. That would help me with the ranks. So So I just could possibly change to Fernandes.
KDB should be the most picked captain for the week.
Yeah. And an outside chance is Harry Kane for captain. Because he's not going to be captain with the whole knock thing. And but against Arsenal, Harry Kane, Derby...
Always scores.
I think always scores. So these are something to look at, like De Bruyne, Fernandes, and Kane for me.
I think Vardy is the best shout this week, no?
Yeah, I don't have Vardy. Like, let's say if I had Vardy in my team instead of Kane right now with Fernandes and De Bruyne as well, I would probably captain Vardy.
Because like what you just said, where we thought Fulham was the whipping boy of the league.
They've improved.
They're better than West Ham, and Sheffield
United
are
just really poor. They're really poor. Yeah.
They've become
and away, So like we said, his stats away from home are just absolutely fantastic. So if I had Vardy, I would captain Vardy, at least for this next fixture.
And I think a lot of people, after they were expecting a big haul last game week, so they might be off him. I heard people were dumping him already.
That would be a mistake. I don't know if that would be like a good call.
No, you got him in for the run, and he.
Yeah.
We knew he performs away than home, so given that assist haul was a good one.
But should you transfer in Vardy though? At this point, when you're so close to your wild card, I guess it couldn't hurt. Right? Yeah, Sheffield, Brighton, and Everton are good fixtures on paper for Leicester. The only problem is you just don't know what Leicester is going to show up.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you take the wild card as a get out of jail card, if it didn't work out, he's out.
Yeah. Because wild card time is upon us. I mean, if you're not pulling the trigger this week, you're pulling it in the next 2-3 game weeks for sure, I think. At least I am.
Just hoping Kane just shows if he's that Kane that shows up every December, or is it a new season Kane? So he'll have to go if I want Vardy.
Yeah. Another thing I'm considering is taking a minus hit as well.
Oh, why? For who?
Well, I want a Jota in my team, Diego Jota.
So Ziyech?
No, Grealish.
Wow.
Or possibly Ziyech as well. But then that would mean that I also drop DCL.
Dude,
for Tammy
just
Abraham.
wait for the wild card then. No.
For Tammy Abraham?
Yeah.
I think you need to diversify, man. Too much Chelsea.
I mean, they're not playing bad though.
Yeah, but there's
Chelsea's not playing bad at all. They're playing quite well.
Yeah, but you've got Ings coming back. You've got Adams hitting at an insane pace. That guy is like scoring at 6+ per game, 5.9 asset. If you want to line up if you want to line up with Bruno, Salah, KDB, the Trinity in midfield, you'll need these guys up front, man. You can't get them.
Yeah, then I'll need to downgrade Kane. I don't want to downgrade Kane.
Yeah, so then
downgrading DCL to someone else is not going to do it, because DCL is like what, 7.2?
That's no, DCL is almost 8 million. That's what you paid for him.
No, but I get 7.4 only for him. I got him way back.
Yeah.
So I only get 7.4 for him if I trade him, and I have 0 in the bank with the change that I've made, which means I probably even couldn't get Tammy Abraham.
But you think you're talking about dropping the highest goal scorer for the season?
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think their run is at an end.
Well, I don't know.
For the time being, at least.
Hard to call it.
Abraham, I wouldn't bring in. But maybe taking a -4 would make sense.
Okay.
But Abraham.
All right. So let's see.
Jota for the Wolves fixture, which is also kind of dicey, no? Wolves is not.
Wolves are not the sort of team that get turned over. Maybe I just don't end up taking a minus and waiting till next week. Maybe I'll get lucky with the whole Grealish situation. Another thing, another comforting fact was I was concerned about how Barkley's absence is going to affect his his points. I mean, the last game, he didn't get anything, but this game with I believe who was it? McGinn was playing in the number 10 role now.
Yeah, and I think Trezeguet also, right? No.
Yeah, so he didn't do too badly. I mean, doesn't have the same sort of thrust as Barkley, but some of my concerns have been put to ease with this last performance. And the only thing is, like, when I look at the fixture run, they're gonna have to play Newcastle at some point, Wolves, Burnley, West Brom, Crystal Palace. So I mean, that's the run I brought Grealish in for. So
yeah, you stay.
Till the 28th, they've got easy matches. Till the 28th, they've got easy matches. So Grealish should stay in the team. He's been performing consistently.
Anyway, yeah.
What about your Man U friend Cavani? He's interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see. The clue will be in the Champions League. We'll see if he travels. If he doesn't travel, what happens? I'd like to keep my eye on it. But yeah, I mean, if he's playing up there, then City assets attacking like Fernandes and Cavani's appeal is like definitely going up.
So Bamford for the season is taking a shot every 21 minutes. Cavani is taking one every 13 minutes.
Yeah. And another thing I want to point out about
13?
Grealish,
yes,
is that because Ollie Watkins has now missed 3 out of his last 5 penalties.
Grealish.
So Grealish could be up for penalty duty as well. That was another factor in me not dropping him and dropping Rodriguez instead.
It's absolutely amazing. Watkins misses a penalty, and then there were 2 goals to his name.
All right, man, get over it.
By the way, Salman, Grealish taking a shot every 24 minutes. So
Grealish had a great last season as well. I mean, if you look at last season, he had 8 goals, 7 assists, 19 bonus points. So Grealish should remain in the team. He's of good value. Some of the differentials that you can get is maybe Pedro Neto, James Ward-Prowse, but Grealish is way up there.
So Jimenez went out, right? Does that?
Yeah, he's out.
He's got a head injury. I don't know how long, but he's out for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, at least. So, that pretty much covers it then.
Ings might be back, Omar.
Yeah, I heard about that, but he's not back for the next game week.
No, but
is he?
I mean, he'll be there for December.
Hopefully, he'll be back before we press our wildcard buttons.
Yeah.
Hopefully. All right. So that pretty much covers it. I think we've discussed captain picks as well. Have you guys talked about your captain picks?
Vardy.
All right. Jamie Vardy for you. That's an easy one. I think that's the winner. You're definitely going to hit it this week for sure. I have a feeling. And what about
I
you,
don't have
Murtaza?
that feeling.
Oh, yeah, you will.
Come on, man. Don't be like that.
Hat-trick, Vardy hat-trick.
I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Averaging 12 points per game away this season. 12 points.
Yeah, and Cancelo played the last 5 matches full 90 minutes.
Yeah, but Vardy ain't getting rotated.
Well, I mean, how could you not expect Pep to do like something like that? I so wanted Cancelo, but in the end, I was like, you know what, this fucking ball fuck is going to screw me somehow, Pep. So KDB was the obvious choice.
Yeah, and that's what I did.
I mean,
I didn't mention this.
Go ahead.
I didn't mention this at the start of the program, but I took a -4 to get Cancelo in.
Oh, damn you, Pep Guardiola. Damn you. Anyways, so guys.
This means Diaz will sit this one? What does that mean? Like, is it complete rotation?
I could kill Pep Guardiola if he was in front of me on Saturday evening or whenever the match was. I'm really hoping Cancelo plays. I've got 4 non-starters for sure, and so I'm going to one change, have 3 non-starters for sure. And if Cancelo doesn't play, then that's 4. I'm screwed for another week.
So Vardy for you, Bruno for me, Bruno for Omar, right?
Yeah.
No, well, so far it's Kevin De Bruyne, but I'm But, Cancelo did play the Champions League match though against
Yeah,
Ajax.
yeah, but I mean, most of if you look at these teams, although the problem is that City have a match on Saturday, but they played on Tuesday, so that's enough of a gap. I'm not scared about the Champions League. I'm just scared of Pep's mind, Pep's brain. That's the bigger problem.
That is indeed.
I think you should do KDB just so we have 3 different caps.
I would say don't do that at all. Definitely go for Vardy.
No, I don't have KDB. He's talking about you.
You're the only one with KDB amongst us.
No. Why should I do KDB, man? No. Most people, I mean, I want to on paper, that makes sense. But like I said, I feel like an overwhelming majority of players, not necessarily in our private league, but overall, overwhelming majority of players will be captaining KDB. And I feel like Bruno might not be as heavily captained, and given his away form, especially Fernandez's away form, and they're playing
West Ham.
Who are they playing again? West Ham, who have been not so great defensively the last 3 or 4 games. I'm like almost convinced that Bruno Fernandes is the better captain pick of the 2. But amongst the 3, like Vardy or like KDB or Fernandes, I would definitely say that Vardy is the best pick, the captain.
Just one point: West Ham kept a clean sheet in game week 8 and 9, so they're not that bad. But away from home, Fernandes is just lethal, absolutely lethal.
Yeah.
So he would be a good choice.
Yeah, but if you
And he's on penalties, right?
And he's on
penalty.
KDB's off penalty.
And we all know KDB, I don't know who's on penalties.
Should be. The problem is City aren't getting as many penalties. I think United are getting by far the most penalties of any team, which has historically been the case.
Indeed. So
yeah.
So anyways.
Good luck to all.
Good luck to all. Keep an eye out on those Champions League fixtures. And I would just recommend not pulling the trigger on your wild card just yet. Be patient. You don't know what's going to happen with this whole COVID situation. More fixtures could get cancelled, and you definitely want to have a get out of jail card for that.
I would also recommend not making the change till Saturday, till we have news on Villa versus Newcastle. If what you're saying gets confirmed and it gets counted in this week, then people like me or some of the people who've got 3 Villa/Newcastle assets, it'll be a good respite for them.
Yes. All right. So good luck. See you next week.